Hey guys, it's Adu. I'm back again with another video, another book related video. So I'm taking a little step further with you guys. I'm gonna share with you guys basically my baes. Like, you know, I guess I've got a lot of them. I can't lie, I've got a lot of them. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not good at loyalty. Maybe I'm a person that's not easily satisfied. I guess one man can't do it. One man can't do the job. It's not a one man kind of job to satisfy me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men. You know, it's a 5 men kind of job to do the job. I'm just chatting, guys. So we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna get into the first Book Bae, and I want to say he's probably one of my first. He's probably one of my first. Should I tell you my first, guys? Okay, I'm low-key a bit ashamed to tell you my first Book Bae. I forgot his name because I kind of like excommunicated him, kind of. Not even kind of, I really did, because he didn't make it on this list. I was a bit ashamed, just to say the least, but you know, this is a safe space, so I guess I should just let you guys know who he was. Stanton Rogers from Love Belvin's Waiting to Breathe series. Stanton Rogers, he was a basketball player. It was his appearance that, you know, kind of drew me in. You know, I've never been attracted to basketball players. I think he had to be the first basketball player that I ever was attracted to. Stanton Rogers. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, was it the emphasis on his good teeth? Was it the tattoos? I don't want to say the tattoos because I'm not crazy about tats. I really could not care less about tats. But it described him as having colorful tattoos. I don't know. He just seemed eclectic. Like, that was the word really to describe him. And I'm into eclectic men. But you know, like I said, Stanton Rogers excommunicated, but he was my first. He was one of my first ever Book Baes. Now we're gonna head into the list that I actually created for this video. The first one that made it on this list, Ashton Spencer from Love Belvin's Muted Hopelessness series. Ashton Spencer, he is a dickhead at the start, but that kind of like that aspect of him, I guess, diminishes the more you read, the more you learn about him. He did have very what's the word, okay, I don't want to say narcissist, because there's nothing wrong with feeling like you're the guy, you're that guy. But he did come from a better circumstances, I guess, than Tori. So once he kind of started developing like much more platonic bond with her, you could see like how you could see that you would want to be his friend. Like, you would want to be his friend, in my opinion. Like, he just seemed like a cool guy. You'd understand why he was seen as the golden guy on campus. I mean, really and truly, yeah. He just had that like man, like he was a man, like he gave that vibe, you know. It was very cute. Like, it was very, not even cute, it was very sexy. Like, who wouldn't want Ashton Spencer as their man? Like, I mean, he was that guy. You know, he was that guy, but at the same time he felt he was that guy quite to a fault. Like, it kind of like took some points off of him, in my opinion. So that's why I won't say he is my number one bae. I won't say that he's my number one Book Bae, but he was definitely fine. Like, he was definitely fine. Yeah, guys, am I crazy for fawning over these Book Baes? Like, am I a bit crazy? I feel like I'm a bit crazy, but I don't know, I've seen like videos of these, and the way people talk about their Book Baes, it just seems fun. Like, it just seems fun to participate in delusion. Yeah. This next Book Bae that is shown on my list. This one is kind of out of the norm for me. It's definitely not my typical, but neither was Stenton. But Stenton is more so, sorry, I keep talking about Stenton, like even though I said that he's no longer like my book bae, I keep talking about him. Stenton Rogers. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Stenton anymore. We're not. Okay, so Lloyd Winston, he is next on this list. Like I said, he is like, oh, he's way out of the norm. Like, he is not my typical like crush at all. Okay, so Lloyd Winston from Nia Forrester's Silent Night novel. The reason why I guess I don't know, I developed some attraction towards him, I feel like it's mainly to do with just the growth that I read of him, the growth that he experienced. He felt compelled to do so, to change, to just reflect. It was more so a reflection on his part as he developed feelings for Summer. You know, she had such an influence on him, on him just reflecting, just taking a step and looking within himself to see where he went wrong, maybe in terms of his values, in terms of his attitudes. You know, at the start of the novel, he seems very stuck up. She was more so bubbly, outgoing, friendly, overly friendly. I mean, her name is Summer, it just goes with it. He was Lloyd, like Lloyd's Bank. You know, just very buttoned up, robotic, just he goes by the book kind of guy, like boring pretty much. But then the growth, like I said, what made me attracted to him was just the growth he experienced. Is what you see behind this tough shell that he, you know, he presents to the world. You just see it. And at the end of the series, at the end of the 2 books that Summer and Lloyd shows up in, you see like this change in him. And yeah, I guess it's the way he treated Summer. I guess is just, yeah, I just loved him. Yeah, but he definitely isn't he like Ashton Spencer, they, I guess, I don't want to be rude, but they would probably be like the bottom of my top 5. This is definitely more than 5 Book Baes. But shout out to Lloyd Winston, he was that guy. The third Book Bae on this list is Jason Holmes from Nia Forrester's The Mistress trilogy. And I totally recommend this series, guys, if you haven't read it or if you haven't heard of it, really. But he was the partner to Keisha Crawford. Keisha, she played a very significant role in the Commitment series. So Jason, he basically is an ex-con. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm not into I don't want to say thug because Jason Holmes, he was far from a thug. Woo! Oh my gosh. Like, oh, ooh, ooh. When I tell you about Jason, yeah, let's tell you about Jason. First, let me see if I can pop out a picture of him in my mind of how he looks to me. Let me think. Jason, ooh, Jason Holmes. Like, I think my attraction to him, it definitely has to be beyond his looks, beyond how he treats Keisha. But that is definitely a significant reason behind my attraction towards Jason. Is just Jason. I feel like the thing with him, kind of like Lloyd, what if I was to see a Jason, right? Obviously the fact that he's an ex-con, and probably from the way he looks, I would think that he is trouble. That he is damaged goods. You know, that he is just for fun. But nothing more. Not husband material. You know? And obviously that to an extent was true. It was the transformation that this guy experienced, that this guy went through, man. He came out like a diamond in the rough, bruh. He came out like a diamond. He worked as a mechanic, and then from there he developed a passion for photography, for, you know, just photography, really. And from then on he made a business out of that. Like, you can't tell me that it's not attractive for a man to be good with his hands, but then also good artistically in the arts department. Is that not the best of both worlds? Like, you can't tell me nothing, bro. Jason is that guy. And you know what is good about him that I can't say about Ashton? He doesn't know he is that guy. So he has that humility, you know. Obviously he isn't, there's a difference between being insecure and being humble, having humility, right? And I think it's obviously his history, his past, being labeled as an ex-con. You just feel like you need to cuddle him, that you need to give him a hug, that you kind of need to uplift him, you know. And that's what I just love about Keisha. She never felt that it was her sole responsibility to kind of give him that energy, to give him that confidence boost. No, he had to find it with himself, just as she did, you know. And so that's kind of why their relationship went through so much turmoil, because these are two damaged characters, you know. They had to find their self-worth, and when he did, it was just the transformation that he experienced. Like, I feel like it was such a dramatic transformation. It was so dramatic than the past characters, the past Book Baes that I've mentioned so far, that Jason has to be like one of my favorite Book Baes. Like, he has to be the top. He has to be at the top, you know. He was just that guy, and he didn't know it. Jason. Okay, so guys, I'm a bit like just maybe doing some self-reflection right now. My fourth Book Bae, it's showing a trend. It's giving, I might like, damaged heroes. So the next Book Bae is Devon Parks from Neil Forrester's The Broken novel. If you haven't read The Broken, please do. Please read it. Okay, so this character, Devon Parks, he's experienced so much trauma, you know, that it's almost like there's no way for him to come out of it. I'm not in the practice of comparing trauma, but I feel like with this character, with Devon Parks, his trauma is just incomparable. It is just crazy, his trauma. Like, his bestie Michaela put it this way. She said, think of those kids you see on the news channels or in documentaries. Think of what they've experienced, right? Of what the trauma they went through, right? Think of them. I think it was his transformation too that, you know, I was drawn to. I was also attracted to his eclectic, you know, almost kind of like Stenton. Sorry, I can't not bring him up, but he had an eclectic vibe. He was very artsy. He was just not conventional, you know. He was a musician, and that vibe was reflected in his work, in his art. I guess personally I like you know, his his quietness, his reserved vibe, like his reserved disposition is what attracted me to him. I think it's that, but obviously I feel like that is a result of his trauma, you know. He's very guarded, and that is just a result of the trauma he faced. But you know, it was, like I said, it was mainly the transformation he underwent throughout the series, and especially in the novel The Broken. Like, you would definitely see more of him. You will see more of who he is and who he becomes. Like, guys, I definitely recommend this book. I recommend the Afterwards series. I recommend, like I said, all of Nia Forrester's reads, all of her books. Get into it, and especially get into this one, honestly. So I almost feel bad for putting Devin in this lineup. I really feel bad, but Devin was fine, like. Okay, so guys, the final book bae on this list is Deuce Scaff Jr. His 2 books are Young, Rich and Black, and his and he also shows up in Rhyme and Reason. They're all part of the Afterwards series. Yeah, Deuce Scaff, he kind of begins off kind of like a what's the word? He comes across very uppity, almost haughty, you know, just kind of similar to an Ashton Spencer. He's fun and everything, so he's definitely not like a Lloyd Winston. You can come from money, but you could also have humility. Like, I know there are people like that, but with Deuce, it just wasn't like that with him, in my opinion, my interpretation, you know. So yeah, I feel like it did have to take a character, a woman like Zora Diallo, to kind of take him down a couple notches, because he really needed that. He really needed to just chill. So yeah, she comes, and like the common attribute of all these men that I grew an attraction to, the way he treated Zora throughout their series was just, it was just lovely. Like, I love the way he treated her. You know, he did have a bias though against dark-skinned women, basically. Like, he had a bias against that, which was definitely a turn off. Like, don't let me go too hard on him, because I don't even know why he made it on this list now that I'm talking. I'm joking. Like I said, it was the way he treated her. It was the way the relationship was just like, he was obsessed. He was a man obsessed. He just has also a natural drive, just like his dad. He had like a natural drive to succeed, to make a difference, you know. Yeah, in fact, I believe it was him that scouted Devin. Not scouted, but he kind of brought to his father's attention the artistry of Devin Parks. I liked his initiative to find raw talent, not the commercialized kind of talent, not the watered down version of pure talent. No, I liked that he had that ambition, you know, and that didn't just come out of you know, his relationship with Zora. I feel like he naturally had that. So that is an element that I was attracted to in him. But you know, I feel like the main thing about him that I was just drawn to was the way he treated Zora. You know, I just love it. I love it. So yeah, I don't know if he would be on the high on my I don't really know, but I don't think he would, to be honest. I don't think he would make it that high on my list. So this was definitely not ordered well, but yeah, I don't got time to order. But now that I think about it, I think the #1 book bae on this list has to be Jason. Damn, I don't even know his last name. I don't know the last name that I'm about to take, you know, that I'm about to put behind mine. Sorry guys. What was his last name? Jason Holmes. Yes. Jason has to be #1 on my list of Book Baes. So let's give, let's give a round of applause that he made it there. I'm not too easy to please, like I said. I'm not easy to please, but somehow he got it out of me, can I say? But yeah, it turns out, guys, I am a one-man kind of woman. So Jason, he is the one man to my woman, if you feel my drift. Yeah, so that concludes this video, guys. This was fun, I can't lie, like just talking about men. And just realizing that they are nothing really without women. Like, if you just deep it, my attraction towards these men are based on how they interact, how they treat their respective female counterparts. Like, just deep it. So we really do run this world, like Beyonce said. Okay, so I do intend to make my favorite book sisters. I do intend to make a video about them, so please keep a lookout for that when it drops. And like I said, guys, just chill and read.